Do you think the mainstream right now is more open to more interesting music?
I think if we'd maybe incorporated a few more elements like Ace of Base, we would have greater success right now. But they weren't available at the time that we were recording our album, so we're gonna have to wait till the next record. I think we'll really be able to collaborate with Ace of Base and have greater success.
All that she wants is another
Oh, do you think that's where rap is heading? More live music, less samples?
No, rap is heading to wherever. We don't even know where rap's heading.
Rap used to be live music when it first came out on records. And then it got drum machines and samples, and then...
Yeah, but who knows?
I think there's so much good music. People are into sampling right now. There's so much music you can sample and rap over that it's going to be here for a while. And if it goes to live music, it goes to live music. Anyway, I like where it's at right now, so whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is there's going to be some kids that probably come along, some new jacks, if you know what I'm saying. They're going to do some stuff that we never would have thought of doing. They're going to totally change up the direction. So, until that happens, who knows? We don't even know what we're going to do next. Maybe a little samba, a little new jack samba, smoothed out.
Soul.
Yeah. Disco samba, who knows?
And she's on it. She acts like a nag. I don't know how it started. Even when I'm chilling, she acts retarded.
What about the sexism in rap videos? Is still there a lot. Like Snoop album, I love it, you know, but it bugs me, you know, the lyrics.
Bugs me too.
Bugs me too.
The sexism. But, you know, I think as long as people continue to comment on it, that will probably change to a certain degree. I just feel bad to a certain degree for women who have to see the way that they're portrayed in certain videos and then maybe have that be expected of them in the real world. That's a little bit sad, you know. But.
What about Lollapalooza? Do you think it's still relevant as a
I think it's mostly
special...
profoundly interesting that here in America we say Lollapalooza, yet in Canada people say Lollapalooza.
No.
And why the long O in Canadian?
Lost in the translation.
I don't know if it's relevant or anything.
I don't know if it's relevant to anybody, but yeah, if you're interested in seeing, you know, a bunch of bands that I think are pretty interesting, that I think are relevant.
But I guess that is relevant.
Such as Funkadelic, The Breeders, Beastie Boys, Tribe Called Quest, Boredoms, L7.
So the concept of like having you guys invite some of your favorite bands, that was cool.
Yeah.
That's new this year.
Yeah, and then we got also the Squirt the Water in the Clown's Mouth. Do they have that here in Canada? Are you familiar with that? You've got like a row of clowns and you've got a water gun. You squirt the water in the clown's mouth and you make the balloon pop, and whoever makes the balloon pop wins like a little Snoopy.
Et bien voilà, les joies de la télévision en direct. J'ai les Beastie Boys à mes côtés, j'ai Mike D et MCA qui sont arrivés comme ça à Musique Plus pour rien. Hi guys, welcome to Musique Plus. It's so cool to have you here. Such a surprise, but very cool.
Yep. We're just walking around doing some hat shopping, as you can see.
Yeah, you bought a hat here?
Yeah, I bought it right down the way, right next.
On the corner, right here?
Yeah, this actually, I have my hat consultant here with me. This is Jessica, and she's a member of the entourage. She travels with the tour, and she decides just what hat is going to look right for the right occasion. And she felt that this color would suit, you know, went with the shirt, and that it was just working. So I went with that.
It smells very new too.
I can't stand it. I know you planned it. I'm a son of the sworn gate. I can't stand nothing when I'm in here. Your crystal falling, your crystal clear. So while you sit back and wonder why, I got the smoking thorn in my side. Oh my God, I'm a roar. I tell you, dog, it's Sabotage.
With the video, did you want to do? Was it an homage to the 70s cop shows or a parody of it?
What it was is the Sabotage video was kind of a cinema verite.
Yeah.
You know, so very much on the voyeuristic tip, because a lot of people don't realize, like, we were actually we've been going undercover a lot, and we were just, you know, got together with acclaimed filmmaker Spike Jonze, and much inspired by the style of filmmaker John Cassavetes. You know, we just wanted to capture a scene that was really going on. And that was, you know, for us, that's a very real scene. You know, we are very much undercover, out there on the streets, busting people when we have to, just to remain undercover.
We don't really look like this. We have long hair and mustaches like cops.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yes.
So, you know, that was just really documenting that scene.
It seems you have everything. I mean, is there something that you need that you want to, you know?
Yeah.
You look pretty happy.
Actually, we're developing a tofu pate, and we have scientists working around the clock on that right now. But that, you know, I think they're going to make some breakthroughs pretty soon.
Give it all to charity, like Paul Newman.
Tofu
Speaking of
pate.
charity, some of the songs on your album, you're going to give the money to the Tibet House.
Yeah,
I guess
Tibet
that's
House,
Adam.
and then also an Aboriginal organization, because we sample a didgeridoo. So an Australian
that's what it
Aboriginal organization.
Who had the idea for that?
Ooh.
And why?
Maybe Yauch, or maybe we just talked about it because we just kind of thought, in terms of, say, sampling or drawing the music from those cultures, it'd be nice to give something back.
Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people, especially like in house music or techno, they use didgeridoo, you know what I mean? They use like that instrument. And if it's a regular sample, then you pay people, but on those type of tapes, you know what I mean? Those people never get paid the money.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to, because you don't know who played it, because it's an older, obscure tape, so give the money to the organization, do it proper, you know what I mean?
Give something back to the people.
How and when did you get aware of the Tibetan cause?
Mostly I was over in Nepal and traveling there, and I just met some Tibetan people there. Actually went with Aaron to a monastery and saw some monks and stuff doing a puja.
And that's what made you do something?
I just started learning about the Tibetan people and what's going on there, and just started learning about what the Chinese are doing there and the Chinese destruction of the Tibetan culture.
So what you want? The money with that money that you want. I said, where you get your information from? You think they're talking from a revelation?
What do you think would be the next step for you to do to make people aware of Tibet, more than like donating money? Do you think there's another step that you could reach?
Yeah, the awareness is really like the main key, because once you start checking it out, once you see the Tibetan culture and meet some Tibetan people and start getting a feel for what that actually is, and the senselessness with which it's being repressed, like it's just baffling. It just blows you away. Once you see what a warm culture it is and how incredible the people are, and then you just start seeing how it's being totally repressed and destroyed. It's just like, what's going on?
It's more than the culture, it's even the religion that's going.
It's the whole thing, yeah. I mean, the religion is part of their culture, so it's like probably the most deeply embedded in any culture I've seen. It basically.
What should really be happening is that all of us should be thanking the Tibetan people and the Chinese people who are here who are speaking out. We should be thanking them for participating in this nonviolent struggle, because by carrying out this nonviolent struggle, they're actually teaching real values of what the entire world needs to learn in order to continue to survive. I think our technology has reached the point where we're on the verge of destroying ourselves, and what we really need is these insights in order to bring that back into balance.
We're just 3 MCs and 1 DJ, and we be getting down with no delay. So mix master, Michael, what you got to say? Mix master, cut faster.
For you guys, is it just a matter of like you really enjoy making records? Are you going, oh, that'll be a great sample, let's insert that next time through?
For us, it's mostly about making hits, and I think that we try to go to whoever's making hits at the time, and just try to, buy material from them. Adam was on the phone, the other night with Quincy Jones, trying to buy some hits. I was talking to Garth Brooks a little bit, and Mike's been in close touch with Carole King.
And Burt Bacharach.
A little too close at times.
Yeah.
A little strange, actually.
Well, what I like to do, actually, I sort of buy and sell hits. I do a lot of hit trading. Like, because, you know, sometimes I'll get something, I'll get a hit, and I know it's a hit, but not quite right for us. So I'll flip that one. Like, you know, get that from Burt Bacharach, flip
So
that
to Puffy.
to Puffy, right? But then from Puffy, I'll get a song, which then again, still might not be right. Flip that to Mariah. But then boom, I get something from Mariah, give that to Garth. I get the track from Garth. And
Take that out on the
happy.
street. He could take a Garth track out on the street and turn that into $1 million right there.
So he's got the Tibetan Freedom concert. Mike's got Grand Royal. What do you got?
Breakdance lessons.
Nothing but shit. Nothing but shit. With these guys. Just go over there.
Yeah, he's making beats mainly. Most of the hip hop tracks you hear on here are almost all loops that Adam made on his SP12. Like Adam has like boxes and boxes of discs of loops. He's very humble about it, but he makes like amazing loops.
You started listening to classic 80s rap at all?
It's more like we grew up on like early 80s hip hop. It's not like, you know, it's always nice to go back to it, obviously, but it's just like, that's what we grew up on. It's like Treacherous 3, Spoonie G, like that era, even up to Run DMC and everything. So that always will stay with us, I guess. But I don't know, I don't think it's so much, it's like the music's probably a lot different maybe than other stuff we made, but I think like the thing with like all of us rhyming and switching off and stuff, that maybe to people is going to seem more like False Boutique or just that style, because we hadn't done that in a while, just all sitting down.
So since we're here to talk about an anthology of sorts, you mind going back, way back?
How long
Way
we got?
Back into time.
Way back into time.
Let's do it.
First cut, or actually the first or second, I don't know the actual order of the CD. The first cut is Beastie Boys, going back to when you guys were just a little tiny inkling of a hardcore band.
Tiny inklings of people, you know.
Mm-hmm. You did start really young.
Yeah, we were like, whatever. We just recorded that like in a 4-track studio. This friend of ours, Dave Parsons, had a record store called Rat Cage. We all, that's like how we kind of like met or like all hung out at. And then he just came to us one day and said, we just started the band. Like we'd never played any shows or anything. He's like, hey, do you guys want to, you know, record a record? Like I really want to start a record label. And they're like, okay, sure.
You played your first gig at what? At your birthday party? Mm-hmm. Were you in the band then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? So who?
I wasn't.
You weren't in the band.
No.
John Barry left and you joined after that?
Yeah, sort of something like that.
Adam was in another band called The Young and the Useless, and they used to play gigs like with us. Adam's band, and they also had a single coming out in Rat Cage.
All right. What's up with John Barry now?
He's around somewhere. I saw him.
Oh, he lives here now. Back
yeah, he's back east.
The first track, Beastie Boys, reminded me of this. I brought this. See if this would bring back any memories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably a big inspiration for us. Is that just, that's the 12-inch that just has the...
No, this is the full-on thing.
Yeah.
Sailing On and Attitude.
The guy Dave that owned the Rat Cage drew that drawing. Yeah, see that thing where it says Mir? That's one of his secret code names.
Right here?
Yeah.
Tag or something?
Yep.
All right. Big influence on you guys?
Yeah,
Hells yeah.
Definitely. Because they were like a band that we would go see all the time. Like they'd play, even though they're from DC, they played New York.
They actually moved to New York.
Yeah, around that time, I guess. Right after
and then we recorded at this studio called 171 where they did that record. So many connections.
See, there you go.
And they gave us our third gig.
It's quite odd that you guys went from opening. It's not odd. It's peculiar, unhabitual, I guess, inhabituel, as we would say in French. That you guys would start off opening for Bad Brains and then move on to Run DMC and Madonna. Was it natural progression for you guys? Because you're one of the only bands that did that. They went from
It worked out for us. It worked out for us at the time. Made sense, but I know I could see how it's kind of people wouldn't really ordinarily put Bad Brains, Madonna, Run DMC in the same category.
Exactly.
It's just, I guess it's like with Bad Brains and Run DMC, it's like music that we were really inspired by, and then we were lucky enough to be able to, you know, play with those bands, open for them, and it was really cool.
My name is Down. You can call him D, you can call me Down, or you can call him DMC. People always ask DMC, what does it mean? Deep for never dirty, and people mostly clean.
Did you get the feeling that you guys were starting or were being part of something really new and really exciting at the time, or was it just evolution?
It was pretty exciting. I mean, we'd go see the Bad Brains any gig they played in New York, same with Run DMC. So, like, to be able to be on tour with a band like Run DMC and watch them play every night. I mean, we were definitely out there watching them play every night.
I know.
Yeah, I never remember Run DMC like you think like Sucker MCs was out at the time, so I was just like a huge Run DMC fan, like hearing it on the radio and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, we, you know, with Rick Rubin, we met Russell Simmons. We got to go to like the studio and we got to see Run DMC record, and that was like mind blowing. Like, wow, you know, we're actually seeing them work on a record, and then actually then go play like shows with them and stuff. It's pretty like mind blowing. Being a fan of theirs to have that all happen.
I heard a story about these guys always picking on you.
Yeah,
and about them trying to kick you out of the band early on.
Yeah.
And this just proves
that story too, but I'm trying to remember where.
Proves that theory, right?
Yeah.
See?
Did they write that in that Rolling Stone article or something?
They wrote that, I think,
spin
in some kind
article?
of spin oral history or chronology of you
I
guys.
wrote that on the internet.
That you tried to kick out Mike D.
I tried to slam him in front of
right.
Why'd you do
half
that?
of the audience in Cleveland.
Right in front of the couch.
Why'd you do that?
Because he stole my camera.
Really?
Huh?
That's not true.
You guys want to fight it out?
Yeah. I think it's going to be the only way to solve things. Unfortunately, it's come to that point. So
All right, I'll ref.
Okay. Well,
no.
There you have it.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll be on pay-per-view next month.
Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs. But it's all good now, right?
Nope.
No, we still slam each other on the couch all the time, just in front of each other, for no reason.
But for some reason, I cannot see any of you going solo anytime soon or ever.
What are you trying to say?
Well, come on.
I can't.
Me, though.
Oh, yeah, well, you.
What are you saying? None of us could handle the power?
No, that's not true. But see how in interviews you
none
guys
of us are good enough.
No, you're all very unique in your own way. But see how in interviews you start talking amongst yourselves, and you can do that if you were solo.
Unless you were insane.
Unless I was.
I can slam myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like one was had split personalities.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which does not apply to this right now.
No sleep till Brooklyn. No sleep till Brooklyn. No sleep till Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
You guys had this really, really early success. The first record blew up in proportions that nobody had expected, I imagine. And I don't know, it seems that today, if 20-year-old kids were thrashing out everywhere and were having the kind of success that you guys had at that age, it wouldn't be the same. I mean, Hanson are almost the age you were when you put out Fight for Your Right, but it's such a totally different thing. Did you find that?
How old are Hanson now?
They're like 18 or something. You guys were 20 when you were touring in Britain.
I thought those guys were like 6.
No.
Well, the big kid.
Yeah, the big kid.
And the little guy.
Yeah, there's a wide range of ages, whereas we're all.
You're all the same age.
You know,
Yeah,
what's up
that
with
is
Hanson?
actually true. I don't know, but
I like
you know,
Hanson.
I gotta actually.
I like the little guy Hanson.
I got a call to produce a couple songs.
yeah, right.
I did. See, you see that? See, now you're already picking on me. See that?
That's their influence.
That's it.
Mike. Mike.
But did you guys find it hard at a young age like that to be propelled in such a world of success? That is a good song. Did you?
Sorry?
Was it hard? No, we enjoyed it like the things we were at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was widely publicized. And
over-publicized.
Or probably over-publicized, as the case may be. But that's fine too, because now we're still doing what we do, and we're able to comment.
When you left Def Jam, did you feel did you feel pressure to live up to this kind of party guy image that started out as an irony?
Well, I think that was kind of part of us leaving Def Jam.
Okay.
Actually, was that it kind of got to this point where like this thing that we started as a joke or making fun of, like, oh hey, we're drinking a lot of beer, or hey, we're joking around about that stuff, and then it kind of like became what we did. We kind of became what we were joking about.
That's it.
And then and it was kind of like we were getting pressured from like all, became this big thing, and we were selling all these records and tickets and whatever. So it was like all these people were like, yeah, keep doing that, keep doing that.
It was like Steve Martin with the whole King Tut thing.
Yeah.
And we
Playing Vegas.
We had to break out and not do that. Like sort of like Steve Martin going from King Tut to like,
the wild and crazy guy.
Jerk.
But then he did the Pennies from Heaven movie.
And just switched his groove up.
Yeah.
And we say he did Sergeant Bilko.
Lonely guy.
Parenthood.
Yeah. And we had to switch our groove up.
Look what became of Paul's Boutique. Was it a liberation of sorts?
It was kind of like, I don't think it would have been hard for us to make that record like if we'd stayed at Def Jam, because we just went off on some whole other tangent and worked with people we never worked before, like hooked up with the Dust Brothers in LA.
I know.
Who we met and made this thing that was like musically really intensive, like with all these different loops and same with lyrics, like spending a really long time like working on lyrics. I think it would have been really hard to do that if we stayed.
How'd you meet up with the Dust Brothers?
How did we meet Matt Dyke?
Matt Dyke.
Just that first time at the club?
Yeah, Matt Dyke, who was at the time
airport.
one of the Dust Brothers.
And that's the first time we met him?
Him and Max picked us up at the airport.
Right. Yeah,
together.
that's right. That was the first time we met Max. But Matt Dyke had this club in LA called Power Tools. It's kind of infamous. It was like, because he would play stuff like, he played like Run DMC, and he'd play like Beastie Boys, like Hold It Now, Hit It, like when it first came out. But then he'd also play like whatever, like Led Zeppelin or like rock music, and it was like this big, Barcade, like old funk records or break beats or whatever. So just at the time, when not like people weren't really doing that then. So he had this big club, and he was into it. So he had us come down one time. We were on the Raising Hell tour, actually, with Run DMC. So we came down to do this one show at his club. We show up, it's like this cool club. Whatever, we get on stage, we play half of Hold It Now, and the bass from Hold It Now blows up the entire PA. And it turned out like the guy who was doing sound was in a band, and he didn't really know how to do it or anything. So then, at that exact moment, Mario Caldato, who went on to like engineer and producer and everything, he'd never met Matt Dyke before.
Nice.
So we had just met Matt that night because it's his club. Mario came up to him, gave him his card, and said, "Dude, you got to get someone who knows how to do sound. This is my card.
You really think Mario had a card back then?
I think Mario probably had a card back in junior high.
Yeah.
That was before they had the card
moneymaker,
machines, too.
Mario keeps it clean and he keeps it organized. He probably, had the card, knew exactly where it was, seized the opportunity, went up to Matt Dyke, and then Matt, who never met him before, called him like the next day. Was like, "Yeah, come on down." And then he started working with Matt, like helping him get the studio together. And then, Mike Simpson and John King were the other Dust Brothers. They were in the mix. They were amazing in terms of like with technology, like using samplers like in a way that we hadn't before, like sampling things stereo and syncing things up with computers that we'd never seen. So that was pretty amazing.
it was weird that you guys always started working with what seemed to be these outcasts of music or
Why
film
you
or
gotta call them
whatever.
outcasts?
We never work with Outkast.
Not outcast in a bad way, you know what I mean. The indie people, the Dust Brothers.
How's Giz gonna feel sitting at home watching that on TV?
Yeah.
Or
You see,
Spike
like,
Jones.
Spike Jones, you know, here he is, a filmmaker, and he's labeled an outcast. The man, he's a nice man, he's a family man, he's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, I wouldn't call him, it's like, I just think it's like, to me, like, fortunate that we got to work with really talented people, but they were also our friends, so it was kind of like Matt Dyke, we met him and hung out, and then through him, like, you know, he was hooked up with the other Dust Brothers, and then they had all this incredible music, and we just started hanging out all the time. Like, when we made Paul's Boutique, it was really, like Yelkin pointed out, it was like, it was a 7-person effort. It was like the 3 of us and 3 Dust Brothers and Mario as the engineer and helping out, so it was like all 7 people really focused, and then with Spike, like, you know, he just did photos for us one time for like this magazine he was doing at the time called Dirt, and then somehow we became friends, and then so when we wanted to do photos or whatever, we'd do them with him, and then we started doing stuff like, before we did that video Sabotage, we all, like, I think it was Adam's idea, like we took pictures like dressed up like cops or whatever, like mustaches and that stuff, and then somehow that evolved into like, you know, having ideas for doing a video.
But I don't think we could have worked with like those people, like, you know, Dust Brothers and Spike and all that, if we weren't like, didn't relate on a friendship thing, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be weird to like have the producer come in and be like, you know, we're the band and you're this like big producer and we're gonna do this thing that's gonna be sell this thing and do this thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we hooked up with these people and related to them. I don't think if we would have related on a friendship thing more than just making a product, that we would have went in anywhere with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've never really approached stuff like that way for any, like our artwork for the record covers or for the music or the videos or whatever. We've never really approached it like who's the hot director or who's the hot producer. We've always kind of just hooked up with friends that, you know, like people that we're just hanging out with and just, you know.
Alive. I saw the video. Adam looks like he's about to crack up every time he delivers a lyric line.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's because, see, once again, he's making fun of me while we're shooting the video, and he's
So am I.
See, that's what's happening. That's the inside. That's what's really going on.
Directed by the infamous Nathaniel Hornblower.
Who's been missing since shooting the video.
Really?
Yes.
Quite
he's done it
unfortunate.
before. He's done it before, so it's not completely unusual or unique, but
word on the street is actually that Nathaniel Hornblower is a little concerned about the new millennium, and he's actually taking some training courses, learning how to skin certain animals for the hides.
I heard he was at the High Times magazine party last night with Cypress Hill.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I don't know what he's thinking about.
yeah, I heard that he was a judge in the Cannabis Cup.
See, maybe that plays into his whole plan. I thought he was really going kind of a hunting and foraging.
Quite an elusive
did make a
and
record with Ted
polyvalent
Nugent.
dude. He did, eh?
Yeah.
Quite an elusive and a polyvalent guy.
He doesn't want to kill any animals. I think it's just a thing, like, just in case, you know, in order to survive.
I thought Hornblower was a vegetarian.
Well,
yeah,
he is,
I thought he couldn't kill anything.
But, you know, for survival, you know, it's...
Survival.
Has to be well-rounded.
All right.